Poznajcie naszego kolejnego gościa, jest już z nami. Tym razem będziemy w Izraelu. Na co dzień szczęśliwy mąż, tata 2 synów, córki, właściciel psa Jacka Russella, lubi jazdę na rowerze i podróże. I'm talking about your favorite things in your personal life. Dziś będzie opowiadał o tym, czy można mieć pełną kontrolę nad każdym kodem JavaScript stron trzecich osadzonych w waszej witrynie albo w waszych, szanowni widzowie, witrynach. Przed państwem Eli Feldman, Senior Sales Engineer w Imperva. Hello Eli, how are you?
Hello, I'm fine, thank you.
We've been talking when we have some previous occasion to discuss from our studio about the weather in Israel. We are waiting for much more sunny days, so nice to have you here.
Yeah, thank you, and I hope that, in addition to sunny days, everyone will stay healthy and Corona days will over.
Oh yeah, we hope so. And I know that when you can see much more sunny days out of your own window, working with our viewers, it will be easier and better for you. So the stage is yours.
Yeah. So hello and thank you again for having me here. My name is Eli Feldman, and I'm going to talk about client-side protection. But before I will go to talk about client-side protection, I just want to remind, and I believe that it was already told on this stage today, that Imperva is first of all protecting the data, and it protecting all the passes to data. And I will explain what I mean by all the passes to data. So you can see that we have a unique ability to monitor and protect against bad behavior across the entire environment. We stop traffic from coming into your network and applications from outside, inside, and how the data is accessed from inside and from microservices and APIs, etc., etc. We try to make our products portable and flexible to run it on-premise and in the cloud as well. And now you see that that client-side protection is actually protecting the data even before it reaches your server. Now, when you saw where client-side protection is fitting into Imperva end-to-end protection, we can talk about the service itself. So here are few words and few terms that you can hear, and they are related to the client-side protection. Form jacking, match card attacks, digital skimming, etc. I believe that not all of you are familiar with the client side, and by client side I mean how the web page is looking in the browser. I mean in the backend. So the web page is built of several elements. Those are CSS and the JavaScript libraries and some files and pictures, etc. Every HTML page will list out the services needed in order to function properly. Here is one of the examples of the pages. It's not a malicious page, it's a normal page, but you can see that there are plenty of scripts and plenty of data is added, like different elements and different dependencies for the site to work properly. So what if the attacker will find the way to inject a malicious script, not in the server, but on the HTML page itself? Those pages are serviced to the large number of end users, and their data can be processed through the forms and can be stolen. So how actually hackers are able to compromise the client side? You're all familiar probably with the cross-site scripting, and it also can be compromised through the packages and the S3 buckets if the password is insecure or his password is available in the repository. But there are much more different ways. So this is just an example of the company that suffered large match card breach. So to customers, the website seems secure and they happily willing to enter a lot of information about themselves. But to hackers, they see the website from completely different angle. And they will do a lot to gather sensitive information from the customers of the website, like a ticket master in this case. So they see where the credentials are entered, where the payment information is entered, phones. This is very, very important and significant data for the hackers. Let's look at how hackers use the same page. So the website is made of many pages, and payment forms and login forms and everything else. And each page is made up of the code, the JavaScript, the first-party JavaScript, the third-party JavaScript. And by the third-party code, I mean that some different applications that are not developed inside, and they are used like a library is developed for somewhere else. And it's easy to use such an third party. It's good to use third party because you're saving lots of time for yourself. And those are third parties that you can think of. It's an analytics information for marketing and live chats and payments. But hackers can compromise the third parties. So if this is even not the code that they developed in your company that you're going to protect. This is something that was created somewhere else. So it's hard for security team to catch the problem because they don't have an access to code changes in the third parties. So now that you are more familiar with the client side and how it can be compromised, you can see why breaches caused by magic card happen quite often. Because almost every page on the internet can be harmed by this type of attack. There are hundreds of customers and prospects are seeing this headless, and those headlines, you can see them very, very often. And if you will check the right side of the headlines, you will see that all of three of them are actually from the same month. So hundreds of thousands of credentials are stolen. It's easy to steal them. So now in this example, you can see that the British Airways, very, very known company, faced record-breaking fines due to GDPR breach, because this kind of attack is also kind of a GDPR breach. They were fined by 183 million pounds in July 2019. So what actually client-side protection does? The client-side protection is, first of all, protect customer data from being stolen and is entered into website form. It provides full visibility of the third parties and reduce the risk of digital scammers to steal customers' information. Client-side protection discover all the third-party services running on the site, so security team has a full visibility into the assets they need to protect. And why it is important? Because most security teams are external of the marketing and development cycles. So they are not aware of the third-party services that are added. It means they have a blind spot of the assets they are supposed to keep safe. It also means they don't know which third-party services are part of the application and what were added to the malicious actors. From an operational perspective, giving the security team visibility provides a lot of value because they don't have to spend lots of time trying to aggregate the services themselves. So client-side protection provide the insight about suspicious attributes of those third parties. Well, in addition to providing information about the third party, it also can alert on newly discovered third parties and newly discovered scripts that are running on client side. Like other security products, you can't keep a static view. You have to do it to do assessment all the time. And that is why client-side protection lets this user know when a new service is discovered, so that it can be analyzed and blocked if found malicious. Client-side protection can block unapproved and undesired services. Some of our competitors, so giving visibility into service being used is enough. But we decided to go a step further. With client-side protection, the user have the ability to block requests going to the third-party services from their application. This is powerful. This is powerful because it's those requests that would be transferred to the sensitive customer data to the external server. By blocking those requests, the security team is able to use our service as a stopgap before development or marketing team removes this malicious code. And of course, compliance is very, very important. And the client-side protection provides this PCI and GDPR compliance when processing customers' information. So when you know now what the client-side protection does, you still may have a few questions regarding that. So first question that you can encounter is, why should I care about attacks on the client? Because it's not attacking my server, and data on the server remains safe. So here are the answers. Customer data that is attacked and being stored on your website is actually like stolen from your server. It's not the different. And also, of course, the GDPR compliance. If you're not compliant, there could be large fines, like with the British Airways example. It is very, very hard to detect by yourself because you will have to spend lots of time by discovering what are the third party and how they are used inside the development. So next question would be, why can't I do this myself? It's just based on the content security policy headers, right? But again, there is a high risk of missing something, or if something should be running, and some third-party script should be running, but is not listed as a content security policy header, then it will just block functionality, the desired functionality of the website, so it will not work correctly. And of course, you need this inventory, so you will spend lots of time to gather all the information and creating the policy. And of course, maintaining the same policy, because again, marketing and development are not staying the same. They are moving, they are evolving, they are adding some scripts, they are changing scripts. So you have to be in their cycle as well. So you can say, another question is, okay, I already have a protection. I have a web application firewall, and I have even RASP maybe. So I'm protecting my information in real time. So why should I care about this attack again? And again, those attacks are not running even on your servers. Those are a web application firewall and RASP are actually protecting server and protecting information on the server and while executed in the server. But those attacks are happening on the client side. And the third-party scripts just running without being part of your server at all. So this is all that I know about client-side protection. And of course, you are welcome to continue to ask me questions. And I guess that you will have my contact details to ask me additional question about client-side protection. Thank you.